today. But for a second, let's ask ourselves a very simple question. What are some of the demons did Bartimaeus fight so that he became an overcomer in his own life? See, Bartimaeus was actually born blind. He was this kind of a guy that had a lot of odds. By the way, for your information, anybody that was born blind during those days was considered an outcast, was considered a failure, was considered a hopeless person. But in the midst of all that kind of a negative background, one of the things that we discover is that Bartimaeus was able to, you know, be able to overcome those challenges. And I think by studying Mark chapter 10, verse 46 all the way to 52, we shall be able to draw some encouragement, some strength, some sort of solace that we, or some of the strategies that we can be able to pull from his life that can be able to help me and you to become victorious and be able to overcome the challenges that we are going in our lives. Welcome. We encourage you to share, comment, and tell us where you're watching us this program from. Now, our text is taken from the book of Mark chapter 10, verse 46 to 52. And before even we go there, it's a very interesting passage because in chapter 10 we see how Jesus Christ begins the discussion on divorce and marriage, and his instruction giving no room for divorce and then of course he goes to blessing the children, where the disciples are actually stopping people or parents from bringing their children. And then the whole story of the rich man who came to seek advice on how he can inherit the kingdom of God, and how Jesus told him to go and sell everything that he had or he owned, to his disappointment. And then, of course, we see his disciples come privately, of course, John and James, the son of Zebedee, asking him to grant them, right, so that they can be on his left and right. They wanted to inherit him. The succession politics entered. And then all of a sudden, then Jesus Christ reached Jericho. Later, we read in verse 46, his disciples left town. A great crowd was following. A blind beggar named Bartimaeus, son of Timaeus, was sitting beside the Lord as Jesus was going from Nazareth, was going by. When Bartimaeus heard that Jesus from Nazareth was nearby, he began to shout, "Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me." And the story continues, verse 48. "Be quiet," people yelled at him, but he only shouted louder, "Son of David, have mercy on me." When Jesus heard him, he stopped and said, "Tell him to come here." So they called the blind man. "Cheer up," they said, "come on, he's calling you." Bartimaeus threw aside his coat, jumped up, and came to Jesus. "What do you want to do me for you?" Jesus asked. "Teacher, I want to see." And that actually happened. So the question we are asking today is very simple. What kind of demons did Bartimaeus face or overcome that I believe you and me can be able to overcome? But before then, let's us say the following: a key observation. Number one, it is possible to defeat those demons that come into our lives. Now, it's really possible. It's really a possibility for us to be able to overcome these demons. The most unfortunate thing that is a little bit depressing is that these demons keep on coming back to our lives. You defeat them when you are 20, but when you are 40, they will show up. You defeat them today, but tomorrow they will show up. You defeat them this week, but next week they will show up. So it's not the end. And as long as you're breathing, as long as you are there, they will keep on coming. And the good thing is that if they have defeated you, there is also a second chance. You can be able to overcome them in your own life. Now let's talk about these demons. Demon number one is the demon of intimidation. Being scared by scarecrows. And there were many scarecrows, so to speak, that actually threatened, that actually scared, that actually intimidated uh, this guy called Bartimaeus. Now you need to understand that he was called Bartimaeus. Bartimaeus simply means the son of uncleanness, but his father Timaeus simply means son of preciousness or variable. And he was actually scared by the large crowd that followed Jesus. That was really scary. And then again, the mere fact that he was blind and was seated on the roadside. How would his voice be strong enough? Would Jesus Christ be able to stop and listen to him? So basically, uh, for Bartimaeus, he faced several fears. The fear of ridicule. What would people think of him? Would they not actually laugh at him? Now that he was actually crying and yelling at the top of his voice, trying to call somebody who is big, somebody who is blessed, somebody who is the teacher, somebody who is the Messiah, somebody who is the Son of God, somebody that was actually expected to come and liberate the children of Israel. And we believe the fear of ridicule was one of them. The second fear was the fear of rejection. What if he shows up in the presence of Jesus and Jesus like says, hey, no, I did not come for this type, and Jesus would have actually rejected him. Fear number 3 is the fear of failure. What if he is unable to reach where Jesus is? Would the large crowd that actually surrounded him be able to allow him and give him an opportunity to be able to go where Jesus is? What if his voice was too high? Was too low, and it would be drowned by the large crowd that was following Jesus. But again, these 3 fears, the fear of ridicule, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, did not stop him. He actually, we see, even when he was rejected, even when he was rebuked, even when people told him, you are nothing, this did not intimidate him. He was determined. He took it upon himself. And we need to talk to somebody tonight that the fear of intimidation, the demon of intimidation, does not need to stop you. You need to tell yourself, I can make it. I can do it. I am unbreakable. And this is what the late President Mwai Kibaki did for him in the midst of opposition, in the midst of facing off a project that was then in 202. Beside the state machinery supporting somebody against him, he still went ahead and he crafted the message with Giti Giti Maji Maji. He said, I am unbogable. I can be able to make it. And sure enough, in 202, on December 31st, year 202, he became the president. He was able to face the demon of intimidation. Can I tell you and suggest to you that these demons of ridicule, the demon of, the demon of fear that comes in the name of ridicule, in the name of failure, in the name of rejection, will always come. But again, you do not feel to be scared. You don't need to feel worried. You just need to be determined. You need to be strategic. You need to have the drive. You need to believe in yourself. You just need to move on because you are going to make it. So Bartimaeus was able to defeat the demon of intimidation in his life because again, he was determined. He was somebody who was serious about it and did not allow the voice of fear to talk to him. Secondly, the second demon that Bartimaeus faced was the demon of ignorance. For him, he knew things that we did not know. He was fully informed. He was loaded. And they say, and we have had it, and we've passed this to our son, that information is power. And allow us to suggest to you something here, that when you are ignorant, you lack revelation. When you are ignorant, you do not know, you are confused, you're full of frustration. We read in verse 47, when Bartimaeus heard, when he was aware of what is going around him, when he heard that Jesus Christ, the Jesus of Nazareth, is passing by, his behavior changed, and he did. What did he hear? What did Bartimaeus hear? For this, he had the solution. He had the solution that he has been seeking for. Has arrived. He's around. He had that the one who walked on water, the one who changed water into wine, the one who gave food to. Who performed a miracle of two fishes. Yes, two fishes and five loaves of bread. He's around. He had the solution. He's around. And number two, he also had that the one who is powerful, the one who was great, is around. And this gave him encouragement. No amount of discouragement, no amount of ridicule, no amount of opposition, no amount of rebuke, reprimand would actually stop him. He was fired up. He was encouraged. He was so passionate. We see when he was discouraged, when he was told, hey, shut up, the Bible says that he kept on talking. He kept on shouting at the top of his voice, no, I am going to. He kept on shouting. Number three, he had revelation. He had knowledge that, hey, this Jesus Christ, the person who is here, is able to handle my problem. And then number two, this is a golden opportunity. This is a perfect opportunity that God has presented unto me. It is today or not today. I am going to make it. And then and that is very important for us to be able to have information, for us to have an understanding of what is happening around. It's amazing that most of the believers have no idea of who is bringing them down. They have no idea of the strategies that the enemy is using against them. It is so shocking that some of the believers are not even aware of the opportunities that are surrounding them. They don't even have an aware of the people that are surrounding them. It is very important for you to have an understanding, for you to have information, for you to be able to know what is happening in your life. So Bartimaeus faced the demon, or what we call the demon of the demon of intimidation, the demon of ignorance, and we are saying he was aware. And by the way, one of the ways in which you can be able to face the demon of ignorance is by keeping yourself informed. Get yourself a newspaper. Go back to college, refresh. Don't eat stale food. Get yourself fresh. Get into the knowledge. Get to know what is happening around. Demon number three is the demon of action. It is not what we know that matters. It is what we do. Let's take that again. It is not what you... let me take this again. It is not what you know that matters. It is what you do. We are living in what we call information age, and there's a lot of things that, as we've said, that Bartimaeus knew. He knew that Jesus that was coming around was special, was powerful, was great, was loving, was powerful, was caring, and that was very important. And we are not saying that don't know things. It is better for you to know things here and there. But again, don't stop there. Act on that information. Because the difference maker, the game changer is on what you're going to do with the information that you had. When Bartimaeus heard that Jesus Christ was passing by, when he heard that Jesus of Nazareth was passing by, actually he took five actions, and four actions. Number one, he yelled at the top of his voice. He really yelled and shouted. He was unstoppable. His voice just became louder. He amplified his mouth, and he said, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. He called on Jesus. He yelled. Number two, when he was stopped, he refused to stop. He refused to stop shouting. He kept on shouting. That is action number two. Action number three, when Jesus called him, he rose up. He jumped up. That is action number three. What else? He threw the cloak. After all, he would not need the cloak in the event you are asking. Why did he throw the cloak? The cloak was the place where he was keeping his money. It was a place that was keeping him comfortable, especially during cold days. He would not need the cloak again, so he threw it off, and then he ran to Jesus. That is action number four. So he jumped, he threw the cloak and ran to Jesus. And then if you're wondering the fifth thing that Bartimaeus did, because we say there are five things, that the five actions that he did. He answered Jesus' question wisely. When Jesus asked him, "What is it that you want me to do to you?" Remember, with with the Zebedee's sons, the question was, "Jesus, what can you do for us?" Jesus changes the question. The question is, "What can I do for you?" And Bartimaeus was very wise. He said, "Master, teacher, I want to see." And I think there's a whole topic we can have a whole sermon on why Bartimaeus asked for sight and not for any other thing. He would have asked for favor, he would have asked for revenge, he would have asked Jesus to give him money. But Bartimaeus was wise. He always said, "I want to see." Friends, I suggest to you, as we are in the second mid of the year, what we need to do is to fight these demons. We really need to face them and face them because they are dangerous in our lives. We need not to be scared. We do not need to allow Satan to plant imaginary enemies in our life. We need to defeat the fear of ridicule, the fear of rejection, the fear of failure into our lives. And again, we need to be informed. We need to know what is happening around. Get to know who are spying on you, people who are against you, people who befriend you, people who are hypocrite, who are hypocrite. Telling you good things, but again, is tapping you on the back. You need to know this information. You need to have the spirit of discernment in your life. And then number three, you need to take action. Take action now. If you are planning to marry, start planning. If you want to go to abroad, take action. If you want to start a beauty, take action. In other words, do not procrastinate. Do what you can do, and then leave the rest to God. I just want to believe that this this devotional thought has been a blessing to you, and I just want to take a moment just to see the many of you that have been able to talk to us, so that I can recognize you, and I can see there is a lot of people here. Thank you very much. We were talking about three big demons that Bartimaeus overcame, and here we are. There is Gideon Kamodo. Thank you very much. And Georgina Gareth at Gatondo. Thank you very much. And Gideon, you are saying a very interesting sermon. More grace. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Georgina. You are taking notes. Thank you very much. We still encourage you to keep on giving us your feedback. And remember that we were talking about three huge demons that Bartimaeus overcame. I want to believe you can be able to overcome these demons in your life. You can be able to overcome the demon of ignorance. Get yourself a book. Get books. Books. And John Wesley said, get out of ministry if you're not reading. You know, and you need to read. You need to fight the spirit of ignorance in your life. Number two, don't allow yourself to be scared, to be intimidated. You know, and most of the people get scared. They get intimidated because they listen to a channel that I call the channel of fear. Don't watch this channel of called Fear TV. Watch Faith TV. You see people overcoming. You see people defeating the enemy, and you'll be encouraged. And then number three, take action. Take action. Take action. You remember the way they say there? They say, on to your marks, get ready, go. And you know, in the pray, when they are doing pray, they say 1, 2, action. And I'm telling you, don't watch any longer. Get into the action mode. Get into doing, because the difference maker in life is taking action. My name is John Kimani. We thank you for keeping watching. And remember what we always say here, inawezekana. Thanks for watching.